Hello everyone. Welcome. Hope everyone's having a good one. Well, I gotta admit, this is, week might not be, I don't know, there's not too much that happened in Star Citizen, and honestly, I'm busy. So, we'll see how much, progress I make on anything. I think since last... No. Okay, well, since the last Star Citizen Live, I am now heavily in debt as a result of, I got a Starlancer. I, in-game, bought a Starlancer Max. Which, I think was a decent enough decision. Oh, I also got my Reliant back, which I said I was going to do. And... yay, the Reliant's back, and it's the same as it was, but I got rid of it. I think, like, I just didn't give it enough credit. It's not terrible. It's usable. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it is really funny, I think, because the whole Flight Blades thing... Wait a minute. That's something that happens with this ship for some reason. They act as if they don't put power into my quantum drive, even though... Like, why wouldn't you?
Thank you.
I was running Omni-Skies and Sucker Punches, but Distortion, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Distortion isn't really that great. At least presently. So, oh, this is where our corp is. So right now I'm running 6 Omni-Sky 6s, and I don't know. We'll see. It might work. This might work out better. I don't think I've actually tried it with this, but yeah. Again, not too much has happened. I gotta admit, and on a completely other note, on a completely personal note, I'm not sponsored by anybody, but I just, I've tried out this Dr. Pepper Blackberry, and, like, it's pretty good. Blackberry is definitely not the first flavor. You know what? Okay, just like... So, Star Citizen, gave me the idea of, inspired me a little bit to do, start making my own soda, right? It did. It genuinely did. These missions don't tend to work. I have no idea what I'm doing with these ambush missions, so we're gonna try this, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Well, they can work, it depends. Star Citizen has the Fizz Soursop, and Soursop is an interesting one in my mind because it tastes like banana. Yeah, not much else to say there besides, yeah. It'd be an interesting enough flavor, although you don't really see banana soda too much. I'm sure some people would love it, and I would definitely not mind it as a thing every once in a while. But apple soda. Nobody bakes goddamn apple soda. People do, but like, I guess that's Martinelli's apple cider, sparkling cider, right? If we're gonna be realistic about it. But yeah.
Hey, I'm not seeing anything yet. I'm gonna do a deeper scan. Stand by.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just like, what else could I possibly talk about? Yeah, I don't know. Well, okay, I did also start and finish Mafia Definitive Edition, which is an interesting game. Kind of interesting in the sense that they, the definitive edition is the first game in the series to have a motorcycle. And it's just one motorcycle and it's not too significant. There's a lot of things to talk about Mafia, but like it's not that relevant to Star Citizen. I don't think. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't been like the drama, all the drama. I feel like has died down a little bit, and it shouldn't, because like I still think that basically CIG had a problem. They made an oopsie, and they said, "We're sorry about the oopsie. We won't do it again, but we won't fix this oopsie." Whereas their previous statements have been, the previous times where this sort of thing has happened, they're like, "Oopsies, we'll fix this. Sorry about that." And this is them. It feels like it's them putting their foot down, being like, "Nope." Because I don't know. I mean, it's not. They haven't done. I mean, like they haven't exactly done this where they are willing to put a paywall on a new feature, and like, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't help them at all in the long run. I know I definitely talked about it. And I was definitely like, have been like, I just do not want to talk about this because it's just frustrating. Okay, so this happens. Let me finish the other thing because we're going to be here for a while. Yeah, so, like, and they've had oopsies, they've had mistakes before where, like, oh, it just so happens that we're releasing a new ground vehicle, and we're also going to nerf every ground vehicle or nerf competing ships or something, and this new thing that's going to be available for real money before being available in-game, yeah, that's going to be kind of the best, or it might be perceived as the best. Or, there's a way to see it as being the best, and when we're doing marketing promotional material, we might lean into it, even though, like, So, that's a whole thing. Yeah. So, these scanning missions, so there's a purple outline that's like, hey, you can look at this and scan this, except purple does not mean you can scan it. Yellow means you can scan it. Although it seems like the fix for this is genuinely it will not load. I don't know if it's the scanning gameplay. I don't know if it's the scanning mechanic or if it's I don't know if it's the scanning mechanic or the lack of a or the specific item. It seems like
now enemies heading your way.
Oh, okay, we are gonna get some combat here. But yeah, it seems like something's broken with that. You just have to wait, but sometimes it could be 30 minutes. I was lucky there. And I don't know, I mean, I have no idea what exactly is causing it, but it is a thing that you should be aware of. I don't know if it happens if it's specifically the security suite missions, or if it's every scanning objective in the patrol missions. I'd be willing to assume that it's every scanning mission, but I think I've only seen it. I want to say that I've only seen it as a result of that, so...
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Okay, and this seems to be bugged because... Okay, there we go. Because I couldn't do anything for a hot second there. And am I missing something, or do I not have an objective? I mean, genuinely, part of this is absolutely, we need better scanning gameplay, because, like, the idea of the scanning gameplay being go up to an asteroid, or go up to a satellite, and click a button, and, like, that's terrible. Like, I should be able to, like, ping, and then get some things back, and then, you know, scan them, and maybe, even if it's literally just like, oh, you know, well, you'll get the data, it'll take 10 seconds to scan the data because you're, you know, 10 kilometers away, and then it'll take you a half a second if you're, you know, 500 meter, or you're, you know, 100 meters away or something like that. I don't know, I mean, there's probably a million other things you could do with scanning gameplay to make it interesting. I don't fucking have a marker. This is irritating me. Because this is new. And this is the dumbest thing. And this would be so nice if I could just scan and be like, oh, here's a thing that I know I need to go and look at. But yeah. Also, people have mentioned, and I can't, I don't know, I guess I can't really comment on it, because, okay, this mission's fucking busted, I'm not doing it. I hate that this is just, like, that this is happening so often, where I'm having to, like, this is just what happens, hang on, I'm moving? No, I'm not moving. Okay, I thought I saw something move, I don't know what the fuck that was. Sometimes I'm very concerned for myself. Okay, yeah. It is still one of those things, though, where just Star Citizen, the things the new things are always broken, and then they're gonna have to fix them. And you know, I mean, hopefully it doesn't take super long. So 4.2 is in Evocati right now, I think. And I don't know. I think the only thing I'm really like about. So I'm excited for the Volt's shotgun. I am. I genuinely am. I am, like, you know, any weapon is better than no weapon. Any new guns are better than no new guns. I just really don't know what to think. I kind of don't really like the idea of the way that CAG handles, like, manufacturer specializations. I mean, it makes sense, but also, like, every company, if every company can, they will try and cover all of their bases if if at all possible. Which isn't to say that every manufacturer tries to, you know, go after every single market that's, you know, even tangentially related to them, right? And they don't need to, but I'm just saying it would be nice. And what I mean by that is, Vault is the only company that has heat weapons, or has weapons that are based around heat generation mechanics, and I just, like, that seems like they would be the only company that does that. Not to mention that, like, you know, their lore would indicate that they're copycats, that they just copy other people. So, like, that genuinely does not make any sense, based off of that alone. And of course, I've mentioned my thoughts on that specific piece of lore, that either they just don't give a shit, or they can say that, oh, the heat management thing is a bug, is a feature, definitely not a bug, or it was a bug that became a feature, whatever. You know, this is not the most efficient weapon layout for ground support. You know, the Reliant does have VTOLs, so it is... What?!
Weapon system destroyed. Weapon system destroyed. Weapon system destroyed. Systems off.
Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna have a short fucking episode today. Jesus Christ. Wow, that was... Did I have my landing gear down? I don't think I did. I think, in all fairness, the landing gear had not been extended. Some blame could be thrown onto me for that one. Doesn't mean I gotta be happy about it, though. Oh yeah, so, one of the examples that I could give, is that, in the lore for Gemini, Gemini is a ballistic company, and they, in the lore, they specifically do mention, or in the Galactopedia, they mention that they have bought an energy weapon startup, and they're like, you know, oh, they've started making energy weapons, and it's like, that's like an entire expansion of their story, that like, this is Gemini losing their way, this is Gemini like evolving, maybe not losing their way, it depends on how you want to think of it really, but this is Gemini changing. And, you know, potentially it could be a thing of, like, you know, if a lot of people buy Gemini energy weapons, then, you know, maybe that's a thing that sticks. And if they don't, then maybe it's a thing that goes away. And maybe Gemini energy weapons become rare and stuff. It's a, you know, nice little thing, potentially, of a dynamic world that they seemed to want to have, and, you know. And still do, in all fairness, although it just doesn't seem like it's as much of a focus. In all fairness. Also a little bit terrified. Mafia's gunplay is interesting, and I don't think necessarily interesting in a good way, but interesting in a... I think I can only be so accurate in Mafia.
Something's up.
I feel like I should have probably taken some damage at some point there. I think that genuinely, whatever happened with my Reliant was literally just... I went down, and the game thought I was going faster, the server thought I was going faster, so it made me explode. And it was like, oh, you shouldn't have gone down that fast. So... I guess it happens. Now I'm debating, I don't know, 21 minutes is pretty good for a video, I think. But yeah, anyway, I really hope that they don't... I'd really love for new weapons to be spread out a bit more. I'd love it if they did focus on one manufacturer as much. Like, Vault is new, and it's good to get a bunch of their weapons out there. I'm always gonna come back to, oh, the Reliant, or oh my god, Armitage. Armitage weapon manufacturer, they're a company that exists, that makes stuff. They should be a thing. And they should be a thing. But also, in all honesty, I wouldn't, like, the thing that makes them interesting is more the character, the story, that is present with them. Of course, there's Hedeby, you know, with the salvo. And I guess what I'm saying is, specifically, I mean, I would love to just see more, just in general. And definitely, you know, like, oh, I'd love it if there was a, you know, a bearing weapon, or a Gemini weapon, and then a Volt weapon, or any number of kooky combinations thereof. Okay. Alright, bud. You flight worthy? You got thrusters, I'll give you that. I don't think there's a ship that's further out. Luckily, this isn't too complicated of a thing, of a layout. But it don't matter. Fuck! Oh my god. I don't know.
So you're interested in our release program?
If there is a takeaway from this... If there is a takeaway from this episode of Star Citizen Weekly, Star Citizen be Star Citizen. Nothing there's not really anything super new going on. I don't give a shit about the Valkyrie or the. I keep wanting to say the Vanguard. Now I've said the Valkyrie. This is always fun. Oh my god, really? Just the most literal catch and release program you've ever fucking seen. Jesus Christ. I don't know if I'm gonna die as a result of this.
Attention! Please direct your attention towards the front gates. One of our guests has completed their rehabilitation and is...
I might keep the helmet. Yeah, nothing, I don't know, nothing like super crazy. Like, maybe to some degree I'm settling into a new norm with Star Citizen. Unfortunately, that new norm does involve content that's new content being broken. And like, sometimes in ways that I don't even foresee. Being more broken than I think it is. See, how much stuff did I have? I think I've lost a P8 AR at somewhere along the lines here. But that's okay. I gotta claim my Reliant. Trying to think of these both. Ooh, okay. Suppressed P8? Alright. A big old chonker right there, but it's okay. Yeah. Star Citizen is, this is the longest-winded outro ever, but what would you expect from Star Citizen? Sorry, I was looking at chat that somebody said gay porn mostly, and I'm like, that's perfect response to the question I posed. It wouldn't really be very expected from Star Citizen in all fairness. Anyway, anywho, just gonna claim the Reliant and we'll end it here.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle.
Yeah, so like, nothing too crazy. I am a little bit terrified. Oh, it doesn't even need to claim? That's actually a little worrying, but oh well. Yeah, it's gonna be a thing. I don't know. I'm not like super excited. My current mood is that I'm not super excited because whatever the next thing is gonna be, I'm probably the next event. I'm curious. I'm hopeful, but also I'm kind of expecting it to be something I just completely ignore. It's not gonna be everybody's experience. And hopefully it isn't mine, but it's kind of what has happened for a lot of events, so... Yeah, and I stream. If you're watching this the day it comes out, I stream Star Citizen on Sundays, and a bunch of other things too. I've been streaming Star Citizen on Wednesdays a lot as well, so there's that. Till next time, have a good day, great day even. Chowskis.